Good afternoon, class. I hope you're all able to hear me. Right, please confirm if you're able to hear me, all of you. So on that note, I shall begin my session today. And in fact, I just wanted to tell you today I'm actually taking a session from the Gradeup studio, beautiful studio here in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. So really enjoying it. So how to start studying for class 12th in lockdown. This is something which I'm going to discuss with all of you today. Sahi prep hai to life set hai. This is the tagline that we adhere to. So you can see this is what we are going to discuss. There's a number at the bottom of the screen, 9650052904. You may always call us at this number in case of any doubts or queries. और कुछ भी queries otherwise हो, आप please इसमें लिख दीजिए chat window पे और we will be happy to answer your queries. So on that note, let me move ahead. My name is Aritro Dasgupta. Many of you know me and I've been conducting classes for the last couple of months here. Overall, been teaching for over a decade. Right, I want to start with a couple of quotations to begin everything. One of them is given by the legendary scientist. I mean, we've all heard of him, Albert Einstein, the famous German scientist. So he said time is really the only capital that any human has and the only thing he can't afford to lose, right? So what does it mean? Capital, you know, is wealth. Right, so time is the only capital that any human has and the only thing he can't afford to lose. So time is precious. आप प्लीज उसका सही उपयोग कीजिए, उसका दुरुपयोग ना कीजिए. और उसके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि अभी जो लॉकडाउन्स चल रहे हैं in different parts of the country, and I think everybody knows that at least when it comes to education, colleges and schools, they haven't yet opened fully. So you cannot afford to lose this time. So very important that you get yourself associated with some online institute like Gradeup and keep taking your classes. People often complain about lack of time when the lack of direction is the problem. This is something given by Zig Ziglar, another famous thinker. Right. Now let's understand some of the tips which will help us to study class 12th. So implement quick learning strategies, right? First of all, no matter how reduced the course outline is, it still imparts fear. So this is what basically quick learning strategies. You are all studying quite a bit, but you have to implement it in a way so that they can be done effectively and efficiently, both effective and efficient. So the bottom line has to be correct, bottom line for studies, and it has to be within a certain use of resources. So no matter how reduced the course outline is, as you know, many courses the outline has been reduced. A lot of CBSE courses, it still imparts fear in the minds of many to go through the complete text. Learning from advanced learning techniques like mnemonics, which helps students remember quickly through keywords and acronyms, can save a lot of time and help students to revise the entire section at a quick glance. I'm personally not a huge fan of mnemonics, I'll be honest. In my subject of general knowledge, you need mnemonics a lot, but whoever is good at it, please go ahead. I'm personally not somebody who can do it or advocates it, but if you're able to do mnemonics, please go ahead, go for it. ठीक है? चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Don't have too much time on your plate. That is always a possibility. In that case, train your brain in a positive way and do not load it with a lot of opinions. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, especially when you are a youngster. Very important when you are a youngster, because you often take in a lot of information from different sources, especially when you are in 12th. The whole world wants to give you ज्ञान. I'm sure आप हर जगह से ज्ञान प्राप्त हो रहा है आपको कि बेटा ये करना चाहिए था, ये क्यों नहीं किया, ये करना चाहिए था, कैसी चल रही है पढ़ाई. I'm sure the whole world is giving you advice. So it is up to you. You guys should not take advice from everywhere and anywhere. You should take advice from the people you are paying to take advice from, right? I'm not suggesting that free advice is always bad, not at all. There are many well-wishers that you have, many genuinely talented people who are giving you advice, but when there is too much advice, that's a problem. And when you are in 12th in our country, everybody gives you advice. So I think we are also part of that. So I'm including myself in that. It's not that मैं दूसरों की बुराई कर रहा हूँ, I'm probably part of it, but you need to understand what is right for you and what is not. So be clear in your mind and do not stress yourself to cover things that are outside your reach. So everything you will not be able to do. Right. Try taking it slow and assign your revision consequently. So revision one at a time. So if you look at, for example, this year's CLAT exam, I think that's a very good example of how revision plays an important role. Initially in CLAT, what was happening is, if you see the GK this year, it was not tough. It was not, many students are telling me it was so tough. It was unpredictable. Important topics did not come. I do not fully agree. I do respect your views. But what I will also say is that a lot of GK came from the previous months. And remember, I've always said last 12 months is important. So पिछले 12 महीने के questions आते हैं, तो very important that you guys go through the last 12 months. Many of the students only studied the last few months thoroughly. They did study last year, but they could not revise. So revision के लिए take it slow and assign your revision consequently, step by step, one at a time. Out of all the subjects, try to pick up 2 or 3 subjects and select any 2 topics. ठीक है? So जितने भी subjects हैं, 2-3 topics pick up कीजिए और उन 2-3 subjects choose कीजिए और हर एक subject से 2 topic उठाइए and go into the depths of the topic rather than browsing all the topics at one go. So कोई भी 2 topics आप subjects choose कीजिए और उनके 2-2 टॉपिक्स. मान लीजिए आज आप जीके पढ़ रहे हैं, तो जीके में आज आप एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री देखिए एंड करंट अफेयर्स फॉर द मंथ ऑफ जून करिए, दोनों करिए. आप पूरा हिस्ट्री एक गो में, या ऑल मंथ्स करंट अफेयर्स, या ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स ऑफ स्टैटिक जीके लाइक इकोनॉमिक्स, पॉलिटी, साइंस, सारा एक साथ करना पॉसिबल आपके लिए नहीं होगा. ठीक है? So try taking it slow and assign your revision consequently. Right? This is what you need to do. Moving ahead to the next one, exercise regularly, and this is something I've been telling in a lot of sessions. In fact, I have a couple of sessions in the next couple of days as well on improving concentration, improving the speed of study, and in all of them exercise is very important. Here exercise does not mean that you need to do cross training or you need to do Zumba or run around. That is not what I mean. Of course that is great if you can do, but here what I'm trying to say is keep a balanced lifestyle, maintain a balanced lifestyle. Many of you nowadays, it's become a fashion, many of you do late night studies, you've had a nocturnal lifestyle. वो किसी का फायदा नहीं होता उस nocturnal लाइफस्टाइल से, क्योंकि नॉकटर्नल लाइफस्टाइल में क्या होता है, रियल जो एग्जामिनेशन है वो सुबह के टाइम है, और अगर आप यूज्ड टू है रात को जाग के सुबह सोने का, तो सुबह जब एग्जाम है देन यू आर नॉट इन द एक्टिव माइंड. Right? Do you agree? If you do not agree, you can tell me. Either way, I will buy your point. ठीक है? So a commonly used example for high interference memory is remembering faces. Very important that you remember the faces of the people that you encounter on a daily life. So this is a skill that is especially useful for people hoping to make connections. Now, I as a teacher, of course, nowadays there are online classes, but all these years, for a decade, I've been taking offline, and I can tell you, at least as far as possible, I try to remember each and every face. And every year, I'm doing thousands of students. I'm teaching thousands of students. So at least I try to, even if I do remember, that is possible in a large country like ours, but I do try to remember, that gives us, when I'm saying remembering faces, I do not mean आप किसी मेले में गए वहाँ पे जितने लोग हैं सबकी शक्ल याद है, obviously वो possible नहीं है, लेकिन अपने circles में जो लोग जिनके साथ आपके connections है, try to remember their faces. This is a good way to start. In fact, nowadays I've been watching a lot of detective series, like Hercule Poirot's, Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot, watching that on Sony Live. तो उसमें Hercule Poirot, who's a legendary detective, he's like always remembers each and every face, remembers their features, what people like to do and what not. तो उससे बहुत यूजफुल होता है क्राइम सॉल्विंग. आपको वो काम शायद नहीं करना, and unless some of you decides to go for that task, but in your studies you need to make these connections. Any doubts, guys, please feel free to write. Chat window पे लिखिए. Exercise results in the production of a chemical. This is a scientifically proven fact. It's known as BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's a protein that supports the function, growth and survival of brain cells. So extremely useful, definitely needed. So exercise regularly and also sleep regularly. Create a stable and calm study environment. जहाँ पे आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं उसका atmosphere ठीक होना चाहिए. Lots of students, they study from a small room and become toppers in the country. So why not? If you can do it, that's great. But for the majority of you, this may not be the challenge. Even if it's not a challenge, make sure your study area is calm. There is not too much of movement, not too many people. If possible, if you can see a window, if there's a window in front of you and you can see greenery, your studies will pick up even more if you can see greenery in front of you. So ensuring a stable study space is certainly significant as it helps the students attain self-possession. Right? Any disagreements, please let me know. And if anything else okay, I can see quite a few students are now watching. I can see 5 students have joined the session. So please write something. Will be great to connect. So at least write a hi, usse bhi acha lagega. Anyway, so this is to attain self-possession. The key is minimizing the interruptions from the space. They can be in the form of sound and visuals. Avoid having your study area near to background sound of TV, music system, etc. Right? So try to be away from a music system or a TV or something like that. Okay. Right. Also get more sleep. This is a regular pattern I've been talking about at the various sessions I've been taking. Sleep is when most of the memory consolidation process occurs. In fact, this is something 16 years back when I was about to, there was a time when I was in class 12. So just before the board examinations, our school invited an external trainer. So that trainer told us about how the moment we are sleeping and before sleep something has occurred, when we are sleeping, that sort of solidifies in your mind. Okay, so this is why sleep is so important. In a 24-hour circle, you need those 7 to 9 hours of sleep. रात को of course आप properly सोएंगे, मैं बता चुका हूँ, the perils of a nocturnal lifestyle. But even during the daytime, you must ensure that at various stages, you can have these 10-15 minute naps. जैसे अभी आप क्लास अटेंड कर रहे हैं, क्लास के बाद आप 10-15 मिनट के लिए सो जाइए. 1 घंटा जब आप कंटिन्यूअस डिजिटल कुछ काम कर रहे हैं, वेदर इट्स अ क्लास, वेदर यू वाचिंग अ मूवी, वेदर यू वाचिंग अ फुटबॉल मैच, अ क्रिकेट मैच, ओलंपिक्स, उसके बाद इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप अपनी आंखों को रेस्ट दीजिए. 10 मिनट का अगर आप रेस्ट देंगे, द गैमा रेज दे सॉलिडिफाई एंड दे हेल्प यू रिटेन इंफॉर्मेशन. सो इवन अ शॉर्ट नैप कैन improve your memory recall. Researchers have found that sleep deprivation can affect your ability to commit new information to memory and consolidate any short-term memories which you have made. Okay, test yourself by solving sample papers. This is a thing that you should do frequently. So while you solve sample papers, now that is one of the most important reasons why joining a test center, a coaching institute, especially online these days like Gradeup, is so significant. Because what happens is you can test against thousands of people, at least hundreds of people all over the country. So a number of studies have shown that self-testing is an extremely effective way to speed up the learning process. And you can try to solve one CBSE sample question paper every day. Now this is true for those who are going for the class 12 examinations. Of course, वो तो आप सभी देंगे, hopefully. I think it's a good thing to give class 12 exams. So hopefully next year we will be having them. Not having them also means that there's great disaster in the country, which obviously none of us wants that. So hopefully there will be a board exams next year, and try to solve one CBSE sample question. If not every day, maybe in 3 to 4 days you can do that. And when it comes to our exams, please practice our topic tests as well. Even if you're not giving a full-fledged IPM mock abhi, या DUJAT ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है, बस 1 महीना दूर है शायद. On an average, they haven't given us the exact date, but DUJAT, NCHM, IPUCET, JIPMAT, they are not far away. तो उसके mocks आप please तैयारी करते रहिए. So try to solve one CBSE sample exam question paper every day. ठीक है. एंड ऑल्सो आर टेस्ट, हमारे टेस्ट में अभी के लिए आप टॉपिक टेस्ट कर सकते हैं. टॉपिक टेस्ट का मतलब है जहां पे आप किसी एक टॉपिक की तैयारी कर रहे हैं. जैसे कि मैथ्स में आप पूरा मैथ्स नहीं कर रहे, पूरा क्वांट्स नहीं कर रहे, यू आर ओनली प्रिपेयरिंग लेट्स से logarithmic table one day. Someday you could do integration or differentiation, higher maths. Someday you could do probability, time, speed and distance, time and work. बहुत सारे अलग अलग topics and number systems. So you can do all these questions on different days. Vedic maths you can do someday. When it comes to my subject, someday you do ancient Indian history, someday you do Constitution of India, global geography, science में you can do about inventors and inventions, current affairs month wise कर सकते हैं. तो sectional topics बहुत सारे हैं, तभी तो मैं टेस्ट करवा रहा हूं. In fact, there's a very important announcement, guys. Today at 2 p.m. I'm going to conduct the static GK quiz. Today is the fourth and the final session in a 4-part series. You know, 3 days back I started this series. Every day I'm taking one class each. आज आखिरी class है, fourth and final class today. So watch out for that. That will start at 2 p.m. After that at 3 p.m. I'm starting a new series today on personality development. So do watch out for that session. Today I'm going to talk about interview techniques. In the next session I'll talk about GD, then I'll talk about essay writing, and finally I will talk about this extempore. So different parts of personality development, soft skills I will be talking about. So today only about interviews, so watch out for that session at 3 p.m. So very important announcement for all of you. Watch out for that session, and this is especially important for those who are call getters for the various examinations. You've already received calls for the IIMs, both Rohtak as well as Indore. So all those who've received calls for Rohtak and Indore, this is very important that you understand how interviews are to be handled, because there's just no point in having gone through so much of ACADS and cleared all these exams but failed at the final hurdle. Obviously, call getters, you have 1 foot or 1/4 of a foot already at an Indore or a Rohtak, but you still have 3/4 of a foot to go. So do watch out for those sessions. Right, so I'm done with today's content, but just wanted to tell you about these new batches which are coming up. There's this IIM batch for 2022. Right, so these are the, you can call us at the number provided at the bottom, 96500522904 for any details on this. We are also there on YouTube. As you can see, most of you attended my session on YouTube, so do press the bell icon. Once you press the bell icon, you will receive a lot of sessions. All the future sessions you will receive the notifications for. I've shared with you one number, but there's yet another number, 8806130414. You may also call us at that number. Either of these two numbers works. It's not that you only need to call us at one number. So you can call us here as well. See this number. And of course, this one has been highlighted throughout. इनमें से किसी पे भी आप हमें कॉल कर सकते हैं. Note down these numbers. Really enjoying these smart tools. आपको मालूम है YouTube में नीचे आपके डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया रहता है पूरे सेशन का डिटेल डिस्क्रिप्शन. जो भी डिटेल डिस्क्रिप्शन है उसमें आपको टेलीग्राम चैनल का भी लिंक मिलेगा. सो उस लिंक को आप जब क्लिक करेंगे तब you will be directed towards our Telegram group, and वहाँ पे we have really interesting discussions. So guys, please join us for that. We have very good discussions. And finally, we are also there on the Google Play Store. Download our app. Once you download our app, you will understand why सही प्रेप है तो लाइव सेट है. आपको तब पता चलेगा, क्योंकि आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं टॉपिक वाइज क्विजेस, and you can obviously keep attending live classes. Welcome Rishika, good afternoon. How can I start my preparation for Lucknow University BBA Entrance Exam? So Rishika, there are lots of things you can do. आपका क्वेश्चन बहुत ज़्यादा ब्रॉड है, अभी मैं उतना टाइम नहीं लूँगा, बट बेस्ट है आप ग्रेडअप का कोई कोर्स ज्वाइन कर लीजिए. एंड बिकॉज अभी आपके पास टाइम है इस सरकारी यूनिवर्सिटी के एग्ज़ाम्स का, तो वहाँ पे आपका पूरा गाइडेंस मिल जाएगा फॉर सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक क्वांट्स एंड इंग्लिश एंड रीजनिंग. अगर मैं अपने सब्जेक्ट की बात करूँ, आई एम अ टीचर ऑफ जीके, तो सबसे पहली बात आपको न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, यह बहुत ज़्यादा स्वीपिंग क्वेश्चन है आपका, सो आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू आंसर एवरीथिंग in such a short span of time, but for my subject I will tell you, read the newspaper thoroughly, especially the business page and especially the editorial. Business and editorial are very important. Apart from that, there are lots of GK sessions I have taken on the Gradeup app, including some free sessions. There are these monthly current affairs free sessions which I have taken, so at least that much you can go through without any hesitation. Once you are going through, and of course you can join the paid course. वहाँ पे there are everyday regular live sessions. I think even YouTube में there is a daily GK which is taking place. So yeah, that should not be a problem, Rishika. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Rishika. And if I'm not wrong, Rishika, you've attended my sessions earlier as well, and I think you had the same question back then as well. You need to start preparation rather than keep thinking कैसे करूँ. जिस दिन आपने start कर दिया, that's it. You're at least on second gear. Fifth gear तक आने में time लगेगा, but at least second gear में आप होंगी. So please start today. Which newspaper are you getting at home, Rishika? It's always good to read a physical newspaper rather than online version. Online का प्रॉब्लम है कि गूगल को पता है आप किस चीज़ में इंटरेस्टेड हो, वो उस टाइप के टॉपिक्स पुश करेगा टू इंक्रीज द रीडरशिप, राइट. Whereas in a physical newspaper you get some idea of everything. That is the big advantage of, a physical newspaper. और बताइए, any other questions, Rishika? Times of India, very good. Times of India is a perfect newspaper. Please start reading it. You can also read The Hindu. The Hindu is considered the best for entrance examinations. But साथ में please sessions देखते रहिए. For static GK, I think you will have to take enrolled classes because I don't think too many free sessions are there. But you can watch my quizzes. I've taken a lot of quizzes for static GK on history, geography, science, and polity. And please join me today itself at 2 p.m. Rishika, have you downloaded the Gradeup app? Right, fair enough, Rishika. I think we can wrap up the session. If you've downloaded the app, if you haven't, please download it now. And today at 2 p.m. we have that session. I am weak in maths, so right now I'm concentrating on quantitative. Right. I think that's a good idea, Rishika. But also do not ignore the other subjects. Please at least spend 1 hour on each of the other subjects in case you haven't studied much so far. So 1 hour GK, 1 hour reasoning, 1 hour English, and the rest of the day, and the rest 3, 5, 6 hours, whatever is your total, usme you can practice quants. It's good you've downloaded the app. Take up the paid course, that will be much better. Once you've downloaded the app, please, today at 2 p.m. I must see you. Okay, Rishika, there's a static GK quiz at 2 p.m. today. Okay, fair enough, Rishika. I need to get ready for the next session. Thank you so much. Wonderful interacting with you and all the others, guys. Yes, the other subjects are general knowledge, logical reasoning, and English. General knowledge, logical reasoning, and English apart from quantitative techniques, Rishika. Are you also trying for other exams? I understand Lucknow University is pretty good, but you can also try Delhi University. There's also IP University, Indraprasth University in Delhi. Delhi, of course, good job opportunities eventually. So you can also try Delhi along with Lucknow. The forms are still to be out, so you still have time, Rishika. And of course, you still have exams like GIPMAT, which is for the integrated MBA plus BBA at some of the IIMs. Right, right. Wonderful interacting with you. See you in half an hour's time. Thank you so much, Rishika. See you very soon.